Noah. Behold, one of the most competitive and ambitious VSPO members. Driving herself to improve her skills further and further. Noah is a literal sweaty gamer, in both senses of the word, in that she tends to sweat a lot when she games hard. And let me tell you, she does go hard.
これ先ほどバレてないのでこの動きはいってお話ししてましたけども、これがくるみのあのセンスよく勝てた。私がいる4キル目私がいる私が来た私がやるノア決めた
But I may be getting ahead of myself. The gameplay section is supposed to be for later. So, how about this time we start with some backstory. It was early 2019, the days of the Qoga sisters. Here, VSPO's first scouted member, Kaga Sumire, would approach Noah, inviting her to join VSPO. However, as Noah didn't know much about the VTuber world, she actually declined the invitation. Yes, you heard that right, my dear audience. In a different timeline, Noah could have been a part of Lupino's virtual games. But then, 1 year later, in 2020, Sumire would once again invite Noah to join VSPO. This time, Noah had a change of heart. You see, sometimes when playing games, she would be criticized just for being a girl. And so she saw VSPO as an opportunity to change that kind of negative image. And since she didn't really have any particular plans for the future, she thought she may as well give it a try. And so, Kurumi Noah would debut as VSPO's 5th member, the first member of Iris Black Games, in which she would be later joined with Tachibana Hinano and Kisaragi Ren. They were an Apex Legends focused team. The rest, of course, is history. But I do believe this backstory will serve to put Noah's career into perspective. She is by far one of the most driven and ambitious VSPO members, a ferocious and experienced competitor who's not afraid to tackle gruesome challenges and do what needs to be done in her quest for victory. Really, it comes as no surprise that Noah can easily be considered to be one of VSPO's overall best gamers. And trust me, I will further substantiate this claim later throughout this video. But simply put, Noah is a mega grinder, and that extends outside of games too, by the way. Noah does in fact work out. Healthy of body, healthy of mind. I wasn't joking about the sweaty part.
いやすっごい汗脇すごい尋常じゃない脇汗
脇汗やめてよ
いや僕しょっちゅう言うてるからなゲームしとったら熱なって脇びちゃびちゃなるのはよくあることコメントで来るもん服を売ってほしいって
But we can't forget that VSPO members typically embody the concept of duality in some sort of way. Cute and cool. That's what the slogan says. And truthfully, in contrast to this driven go-getting gaming queen side of Noah, you then also have her general personality and demeanor. Simply put, she's very, very, very cute. And she knows it. Noah is known as VSPO's Azatoy representative. She is cunningly cute. You know, cute in a calculated way. And the way she can weaponize it is probably just as deadly as her FPS skills.
くるみどこ
くるみも行こう。
オッケーオッケーオッケーオッケーオッケー今行く今行く
Her voice is just so adorable.
ミーフィーお利口すちゃんミーフィーすちゃん
The kind that makes a man weak at the knees. It's a mega buff to her charm stat.
次はどんな作戦で来る？
ミシックボックスミシックボックスミシックボックスやいやいやいやいやいやいやいや
This is why her fellow member Ichinose Uruha even said she'd like to have a voice like Noah's.
ノアちゃんみたいな声になってスカイプチャンネルで男引っ掛けて可愛いすぎるめっちゃ可愛いやんノアちゃんって
うわそうね確かに可愛い
That said, because she's also quite the introvert, in collab she's similar to Kogara Toto in the sense that she doesn't really speak up much. Even if she were to shout, the result would simply be too adorable.
充電こっちでしましたよ
いきますはい全然わからないやばいやばいやばいやばい
And while we're at it, she's in my opinion one of VSPO's best singers.
キープなよ。
じゃあ真上です、これ。
了解。
俺走る。
キルポにして差し上げるのもあり。
So definitely go listen to her music, especially her original song. But really, everything Noah does is cute. Playing games?
ジャンプしろ
Cute. Angry?
助けてーネモさんキモいもうキモいネモさん残機をぶっ倒してくれすべての残機をこの世から引退させてくれ
Still cute. Horror games?
なんでやばいのねあれ何早いよ早いよ
She's weak to horror. Cute, cute, cute.
ラジドより魔法の銃弾
But there is another forbidden side to Noah. One which can only be unlocked through the power of alcohol. In 2023, Kurumi Noah was a participant in the VCR GTA 2, a streamer server for participants to have fun and maybe do some light roleplay. Noah, wanting to overcome her shyness and maybe make some friends, decided to start drinking. And one could certainly say it was very effective. Too effective, perhaps.
乾杯
ちょっと離席するわ。
もう一本持ってくるか
一応読んだら
She got very drunk. Please enjoy Noah at her boldest.
はい、もしもし。
ヘンディ
はい。
かけただけバイバイ
ありがとうございます。
はい左ですよ
嬉しい
左ですよ
僕ねエマタス大好きなんだよ
本当ですか
エマタス焼肉美味しかったね
おい
美味しかった焼肉
ちょっとこれで今。
待ってやばすぎる今の
誰？
はーいあいてヒナの姿が見れないんですけどヒナの見えないヒナのがいない寂しいヒナのいない
お酒は抜けたんか、ノアさん。
お酒今ね4本目か5本目飲んでるからダルさん解放してよ解放してよ
スムラ来ちゃった。
変態じゃん
The very next day, now sober, she apologized to everyone.
大変申し訳ございませんでした昨日は本当に大変申し訳ございませんでした
いや、本当にありがとうございましたですよ。
And as the cherry on top, she rewatched the drunk moments live.
玉を引っこ抜く
はい、お願いします。ケンキさんの。
And so, Drunk Noah became an iconic legendary episode that continues to stay strong in the memories of the Kurumi fam even today.
初見です酔っ払い GTA から来ましたまだ酔っ払い GTA から来るんだあれから何年経ったまた来る
That should do it for her cute side. So, how about I elaborate on her cool side?
もにゃWhat the fuck? Oh my god! ブイスポシールドかいいここを叩け敵を切る
メイン
It cannot be understated. but Noah could truly be considered one of VSPO's top gamers. When she puts her mind into grinding a game, her skills will generally develop quite rapidly. For certain, this is one of Noah's greatest strengths, with her fellow VSPO member Tachibana Hinano even saying that if she could choose to be any other VSPO member, one of her options would be Noah for her ability to be great at games.
経験やね、これあと今見れてないよね。
Firstly, let's talk about FPS games, for they are Noah's specialty. Contrary to LVG, which started in VSPO as PUBG players, Noah debuted in VSPO already as an Apex Legends player. And just 6 months after her debut, Noah would become VSPO's first ever Apex Legends Master Rank player. A rank that she not only has achieved multiple times, she has even come to surpass. For indeed, Noah would go as far as even achieving the highly impressive Apex Predator rank live on stream, solidifying her position as one of VSPO's strongest Apex Legends players. Indeed, she's got it all. Great aim and mechanics, game knowledge and positioning, leadership and teamwork. She really does know her way around the battlefield, and while she definitely favors aggression, she is also patient when the situation requires it. While it is true that Noah may be one of the strongest VSPO members at Apex, her success is actually mainly achieved through her amazing game sense and positioning. Noah is a very calculated player, possessing of loads of game knowledge, always looking to position herself advantageously, effortlessly farming damage or kills. And I think this is one of the things that make her such a formidable player. Yes, she has the physical skills to be able to just run and gun at people if she feels like it, but she prefers to play it smart, stacking as many advantages as she can to ensure ultimate victory. Sun Tzu would approve. When moving, she's swift as the wind. When sneaking, silent as the forest. When attacking, she's fierce as fire. And when she needs to make a stand, immovable as a mountain. Furin Kazan! She is often thinking several steps ahead, and it is her highly strategic mindset that is the core of her playstyle. And she's definitely got the aim to back it up. Honestly, it doesn't matter which guns are currently in the meta. Give her any weapon, and she'll put it to good use. Though I've noticed that, like several other VSPO members, she does seem to like the Nemesis a lot. And combined with her tactical usage of grenades, solid movement, and careful positioning, she's a true force to be reckoned with. One who should never be dismissed, even as she is the last standing member of her squad. For you see, Noah is the type of tenacious player that even when she's backed against a corner, she performs even better. And this has resulted in her having been able to flip situations around multiple times throughout her career and snatch victory from the clutches of defeat. For this, Noah pretty much became known as VSPO's most notorious clutch queen. Rule number 1 of fighting Noah: never think you've won before she's actually been eliminated, because there's a real chance she might still win in the end. Odds be damned!
Oh my god! 待ってる。ナイス。やばい来て。あー。なんだこれ。頑張れみんな。ワオ。まだ来る。まだ来た。俺が先にこっちで。ナイス。お前強っ。
While Noah is capable of playing multiple characters should the situation call for it, she considers herself a Valkyrie one-trick pony.
バルキリ OTP.
And indeed, Noah has picked Valkyrie extensively when the character is not weak in the current metagame. And with its superior vertical movement and ability to fly her team around the map in search of better positioning, it's definitely a character that suits Noah's desire for faster results quite well. But again, she can excel in many other aggressive character picks as well. On top of it all, Noah has loads of tournament experience under her wing, and she has proved to be a capable leader. In spite her voice being soft and quiet, her communication is solid and she can adapt her playstyle to fit with the team's strengths. Her game knowledge and calculated playstyle can really be put to good use when she's leading, and the most impressive part is that she can do it even when she's performing as the entry fragger. The role of the fragger is the most mechanically intensive, as they are the players that open up fights, do the most damage, draw enemy aggro, or even aggressively flank the enemy. It's essentially the role you assign to your physically strongest player. It is very hard to perform both as an IGL and a fragger simultaneously, as IGLs need to be very aware of not just themselves, but the team as a whole, while fraggers usually put themselves in the most perilous situations, and thus need to focus on themselves the most. For this reason, you will often find that even amazing players see their mechanical performance decline when they are the IGL, as the role doesn't allow them to fully focus on their fighting potential, due to IGLs being the strategic decision makers of the team. If the team is under pressure or in a bad spot, it's up to the IGL to make a decision for the whole team, and not making a choice is to choose death. Think about it. Historically, leaders and tacticians usually led from behind for a reason. This is why you'll notice that in tournaments like the Apex VSPO, it is very common for really good players to still assign the IGL role to someone else. For example, in the Apex VSPO Season 5, Shinomiya Runa was the captain of her own team. But because she's more of a mechanical player, more suited to fighting, she assigned Kaminari QP to be her team's IGL, as QP could be considered to be the best IGL in VSPO. Other times you have players like Neko Tatsuna, who is both a capable fighter and leader, but doesn't like doing both at the same time, as it affects her overall performance. So, in the Apex VSPO Season 6, she invited and entrusted the IGL role to Albio, also an experienced IGL. Meanwhile, she could unleash her overwhelming fighting potential, proceeding to become one of the best performing players in the entire tournament. Noah too has assigned the IGL role to other players in the past, yet Noah is still one of those rare players capable of performing effectively as both an IGL and fragger simultaneously, and though her mechanical performance may still decline slightly. In her case, I find that penalty is vastly mitigated if she has a solid sub-IGL to back her up. As you'll see later on, one of her greatest tournament victories ever saw Noah as both the IGL and fragger of her team. So, in that sense, you could say Noah does not have any particular noteworthy weaknesses. But what else would we expect from one of VSPO's strongest? When we move to Valorant, Noah hasn't quite reached the same heights, but there's a lot that carries over as well. Managing to peak Ascendant 3 is nothing to scoff at, and I could see her one day be able to reach Immortal and join VSPO's strongest Valorant players as well. Even then, when it comes to her sheer mechanics and aim, she's more than a match for a VSPO's strongest, and just goes to show Noah's raw FPS skill. Then we have Street Fighter 6. Noah's most played character over the years has been Cammy, which she has peaked Platinum 4 with. But her actual strongest character is Mai Shiranui, which she peaked Master Rank with. Fighting games are very different from FPS, but Noah was able to adapt pretty well, and here too her ability to lock in when she's in a tough spot can be seen clearly. I noticed when Noah loses a round, she plays much better in the next. Literally losing only makes her stronger. Again, it's this faster learning and adaptability that makes her such a force to be reckoned with. She's constantly evolving. Finally, there's League of Legends, in which Noah has understandably had quite the rocky relationship with. Here, Noah's main role is that of a top laner, with some of her main picks being Mordekaiser, Rumble, Ambessa, and Renekton. If there's one thing we can say about her performance, is that she's actually able to consistently dominate her lane in most of her games. She's got the basics down and can definitely hold her own, even without jungle assistance. However, just like fighting games, MOBAs are pretty difficult genres to get into, and there's a lot of game knowledge a new player needs to adjust into. League solo queue as well can be quite gruesome of an experience, because there will be a lot of times where you'll have to go above and beyond to ensure your team doesn't throw the game. League players in the audience probably understand this feeling very well.
もうボット負けすぎ 大丈夫。俺は強い。殴れネクサスを、殴れネクサスを。ナイス。よかった。
Of course, hardship is not something Noah is afraid of. And she's been putting herself through the ringer to get better at League. Over time, she has indeed gotten better at the game, currently having peaked Gold 2, which was a very hard-fought achievement, though it has come at a cost of much of her frustration. Now, I've been playing League since Season 2, and if you ask me, I think Noah has been doing just fine. Is her improvement as fast as other games? Maybe not, but her hard work is still paying off. She used to be hard-stuck bronze, and she climbed out of it. She used to be hard-stuck silver, and she climbed out of it too. And I believe she will climb out of gold should she keep at it. Even still, Noah has expressed much frustration in regards to League, and she's even broken down into tears multiple times, believing she was not improving. But you see, the thing about Noah, even when she cries, she always picks herself back up afterwards. She does not give up. She always tackles those hardships head on, and she always improves in the end. This is why I do still think her mental fortitude is quite high, because I personally believe that Noah crying is just a means of stress relief, so that then she can carry on with a clearer mind. Noah is actually pretty strong mentally, and as a true competitive warrior, she can handle the pressures that come with the territory, to the point she prefers direct constructive criticism rather than being comforted.
対戦相手とのスクリームで僕もうボロボロ泣いちゃったことがあるんだけれども、なんかいやもうノアちゃん頑張ってるよ偉いよみたいな流れがあったのね。なんか慰めもういらないからそれコーチングお願いできますかってなってた僕は。もうこの慰めの時間マジでもったいないからコーチングしてくれって思ってた。ごめんねあの時ね。せっかくね慰めてくれてんのにねみんな。
That's a real ambitious competitive gamer for you. And the reason why I'm saying this right now is because of this massive league grinding arc, I've seen many viewers being very worried for Noah. As a viewer, it may feel like there's no need to go this hard, and that at the end of the day, we just want to see our Oshis happy. But I don't think there's a need to worry, because VSPO members aren't your average kind of streamer. They're competitive warriors. They're ambitious, driven, tenacious, and used to harsh competitive environments. They want to improve, they want to win, and they thrive and derive joy from conquering challenges and hardships. And Noah is likely the best example of this. She's a conqueror. So don't worry about Noah. Believe in her, cheer for her, and be amazed as she puts in blood, sweat and tears and conquers yet another frontier. That is Noah, the majesty of a true warrior.
キモキモキキモキモキこんな気持ちマイメロディー言うてな。うおっひゃっ面白い VSPO.
Much like previous episodes of this series, Kurumi Noah has a very extensive competitive history, and hers is likely to be the biggest of them all. So, as before, I will only mention her victories as well as few other tournaments I have deliberately chosen as well. However, I will say it right now, at the time of this video's making, Kurumi Noah is VSPO's most victorious member. Therefore, I recommend you sit back and enjoy the ride. April 25th of 2020, together with VSPO members Kaga Nazuna and Kogara Toto, as well as the independent Kamiya Neko, she would win the Splatoon 2 Shooting Festival, the first of Noah's tournament victories. August 2nd, she teamed up with fellow VSPO members Kaga Sumire and Ichinose Uruha, forming Team Gigi for the Apex v Saikyo Season 1, in which they would place 4th. January 24th, 2021, Noah led Hololive members Raboko and Shirakami Fubuki, forming Team Bamboozle for the Apex v Saikyo Season 2, placing 13th in the end. June 26th, in the Kagayaki Cup, Noah would team up with Holostars as Asta Leda and the then independent Shirayuki Raid, emerging victorious. On July 3rd, Iris Black Games members would team up for the Arknights Cup, though they would end up placing 18th in spite of their best efforts. On August 22nd, she would team up with Hololive's Tokoyami Toa and Nishisanji's Ars Almao, forming Team Pastel Sawa for the Apex v Saikyo Season 3, placing 10th in the end.
頑張ろうと。どうほら。
すげえ
演歌っぽいよね。
僕もできるよ。
やって。もうすげえ。
October 9th was the 7th Apex Legends Crazy Raccoon Cup. Once again, Noah would team up with Hololife's Tokoyami Toa, as well as Crazy Raccoon CPT, forming Team Candy Pop. This was a great day, with the three coming out victorious above all in the end. April 17th of 2022, a notorious day. Here, Noah teamed up with Nishisanji members X-Albio and Reimu Endo, forming Team Misoshiru Toast for the Apex v Saikyo Season 4. As expected from one of VSPO's sweatiest, Noah had a very strong performance, often inflicting some of the highest damage in the entire lobby. Round 4 would be her best round, placing second after a chaotic gunfight against Kuzuha's squad. But the most important question is, where was Team Misoshiru Toast during the tower drill incident?
いつればうまくはい。
Misoshiru Toast was one of the squads guarding one of the entryways to the area around the infamous tower. And at first, not much happened outside of a little bit of an exchange of fire with nearby squads. That was until Noah spotted the mad dog Minato Aqua, attempting to portal her team Startend into the area. Noah immediately ambushed Aqua, quickly taking her down, and without their powerful ace, Startend's remnants would be hunted down by Misoshiru Toast. The last one standing, Tokoyami Toa, put up a valiant fight, but would be eventually overwhelmed by the numbers and slain. With the ring getting ever so smaller, the exchange of fire with the nearby squads got ever fiercer. All teams converged into the meat grinder that was the area surrounding the tower. And to make matters worse, the closing ring was forcing Misoshiru Toast right into the line of fire of the roaring Gatling gun of Team Shirande's Higuchi Kaede. Only death awaited at the end of that road.
これ間に合わないな。
ヒント赤紫。オッケー。ジブジブジブジブジブジブジブ。ドーム入った。
オッケー。あ、来なくていい来なくていい。
一人やった
ナイス。
エビオンとこかも。
後ろ勝つ。これ切り拾い。打て。
オッケー。
アンチ入って。
いや、ごめんね、これ。
死ぬ。あ、気を使った方がいいかも。リングで。ごめんな。
オッケー。
いや、ごめん。
ここ割れてる。あ、2人入ったキル。
ナイス。
In the end, Misoshiru Toast had managed to place 7th for the tournament as a whole. November 12th and 13th were the 4th Valorant Crazy Raccoon Cup, becoming Noah's first ever Valorant tournament win. And next month, on December 3rd, she would also win the Apex Legends Rakuten Esports Cup Home Appliances competition. And then, March 10th of 2023, Noah would win yet another Apex Legends tournament, this time the Apex Matsuri Triathlon. Indeed, already Kurumi Noah's victories were mounting, yet her finest hour was yet to come. April 15th, 2023. Once again, Kurumi Noah would be leading her own squad in the Apex v Saikyo Season 5. Alongside her was her fellow VSPO member, the ever-watchful and smart Tosaki Mimi, as well as Nishisanji's mighty mobile fortress, Higuchi Deron Kaede. Together, these three shield sisters formed Team Maple Nuts Panidayo. Theirs was a defensive strategy, focused on proactively taking advantageous ring positions, fortified by Higuchi Kaede's rampart walls, and always able to gather loot using Mimitaya's Loba black market. And of course, their fighting potential would be carried by the team's ace, Kurumi Noah, who could easily be counted among the strongest participants in all of V-Saikyo. Besides being the team's fragger, she would be the one leading and calling the shot as the IGL, with the observant Mimitaya being there to assist her with tactical suggestions as her sub-IGL. However, it is worth noting that this team wasn't running any reconnaissance character, with Noah even using Bangalore rather than their usual Valkyrie pick. This meant that they would need to be extra careful and attentive to their surroundings, since they had no easy way of knowing how many enemies would be in an area at any given moment. Moreover, not having Valkyrie on their team would make their rotations much more difficult, and suffice to say, Rampart wasn't exactly meta back then. But appearances can be deceiving, for this was not a team to be looked down upon. Round 1. Making use of Daron's future ring scan, Team MapleNut's Bunny Dio headed towards the safe zone. Swift as the wind, they encountered barely any opposition, save for a few brief exchanges of fire with nearby squads. None wished to fully commit to an all-out fight in these early stages. They scouted the area around them, and Noah made a prediction that the late-game rings would end up somewhere in their current location. So they fortified their position underground inside a tunnel, taking refuge from the increasingly dangerous enemy crossfire as all squads converged into the chaotic final rings. There was, however, a zipline that allowed for enemies to storm inside, and they were quickly surprised as another squad, TSN, briefly did so.
降りてきた降りてきた
The enemy was just as surprised as they were, however, and quickly retreated under MapleNut's Bunny's fire. As a countermeasure to this troublesome zipline, they had Daron place a rampart walls in such a way that her team could simply lie in wait and rain death from multiple directions upon any unfortunate souls that were to drop down from there. And because they had Mimitaya's Woba Black Market, they could still gather resources from the surrounding area even as they hunkered down in one single location. Even more so as enemy squads converged and died in the general vicinity. This tunnel was to be their bunker. With this game plan, the match progressed with MapleNut's Bunny barely even needing to fight, only ever doing so when others approached the ends of the tunnel. Even still, too pressured by the shrinking burning wall behind them, one squad gambled on storming inside. Team Datsukatsu, led by Apex v Saigo Season 1 champion, Pakael.
あ、いるランパートいるランパートいる。
うわやばい。
ローバっぽいの
With Catalyst's ultimate ability, Pakael shielded his squad from Daron's roaring Gatling gun, succeeding on infiltrating the tunnel. However, MapleNut's Bunny was simply too prepared.
どこにグレー投げる？
右にいる、ここにいる、ここにいる。
来る投げとくわ
あ、やばい。痛い。終わった一人。
当たってるこれピー当たってるこれピー
オッケー。いった死んだ。
ピーやった一人やった
ごめん。
うわやばい。
グレー入れる一人やったグレー入れる
これ？
あといけるやつめっちゃロ
いやーダメ。
やった
The assailants were slaughtered, and with the burning ring blocking one side of the tunnel, including the zipline area, MapleNut's Bunny could fully focus their attention on the other side. As the ring got ever so smaller, so did the intensity of the battle outside, and Noah had just the right thing to spice it up.
これウルト投げるわ。
投げ物拾うね
オッケー、飛べるかい？僕らまだ近いの大丈夫。まだ行くね。
これ敵の。
オッケー
はい、グレス追加。
待ってこれ
正面のやつやろ。
やった
やつ。着替えるよ。
スタメってる
ここめっちゃ
着替えるよ。
ちょっとごめん何にも言えない
すごすぎ。
真上一人やったみんなやった
One airstrike, 2 kills for Noah. Eventually, only 2 squads remain. MapleNut's Bunny Dio underground and TSN at the surface. With the ring now having closed on all entrances of the tunnel, both teams now realized this match would be decided by a heal-off. Whichever team was able to survive the ring damage the longest would be victorious. And so came the ring's scorching embrace.
ギリギリでここだギリ
で、最後ローレンね。これ。
いてー
何やねん。
ミミちゃん
All players on both teams had actually misjudged the timing for their medkits, but Mimitaya was the best positioned of them all, resulting in everyone else dying before her. Team MapleNut's Bunny Dio had emerged victorious in round 1 of the tournament. Round 2. This time, the future safe zone had MapleNut's Bunny heading southeast towards the dome. With the path to the dome under enemy watch, MapleNut's Bunny ceased their advance and decided to stand guard themselves for the time being. From their vantage point, they would be able to spot any squads coming from Lava Siphon, and indeed, they could see many come from the distance. From among them, Team San Seiketsu tried to sneak past them.
待って近いかも。下かな。
But they could not evade Mimitaya's watchful gaze.
ここここ。撃つ撃つよ。シェ撃つシェ撃つ。シェ70。シェ70。やったやったやったやった。次。ごめん。やばい。やったやったやった。もう一人やってる。やったやったやった。マジで？ちょっと待ってよ。これ来るな。
核入れた一人。
アーマー抜いて。
オッケー、これ打ち返せないわ。
ここで割れかけ。いやごめん本当に。抜いて。
オッケー、これ打ち返せないわ。
ロボ割れかけ。あれウルト投げるわ。空爆来る。空爆来る。
それ飛んでもいいかも。あ、オッケー。
あれグエ。もうやばい。
いやごめん、ビブリック。
ナイスナイスナイス。
Death would rain upon them, with Mimitaya taking down Aizawa Emma and Kurumi Noa eliminating both Natsuhiro Matsuri and Elu. First blood had been drawn, but this was only the beginning. This being the most direct route towards the dome, more squads would begin forcing their way through. Maplenut's Bunny's position became increasingly more perilous. Those who could would simply fly past them, while the others had no choice but to fire back, with a burning ring at their backs. With the safe zone shrinking towards the dome, Noa knew her team could not remain in that position for long. The time had come for Maplenut's Bunny to move. All over the outskirts of the dome, teams were already tearing at each other. Lucky for Maplenut's Bunny, the way in was no longer being guarded. In the distance, Noa spots the lone surviving Rat Queen Selen Tatsuki, and she proceeds to let loose. Team Snakebite had thus been eliminated.
急いで行こう。このポジション欲しい。
The way was clear. While they had no choice but to venture into the middle of the safe zone with little cover to hide in, they were able to make do with their exposed location thanks to Daron's fortified walls.
大丈夫。相手後ろがいるから。後ろ来てる後ろ。一人割れてる。オッケー。
一人やった。
これ助ける。勝っていいよ。
待て。
横からそれ撃たれてる。勝っていいよ。見とく。入った。後ろ見てるよ。
Amidst the exchange of fire, Noa looked to have her team hold the aggressive position right at the center of the infernal battlefield, trusting the safety of Daron's walls.
カエルちゃん来て。カエルちゃん欲しい。ここ立って欲しいいっぱい。
It was an aggressive gamble no doubt fitting coming from the ambitious go-getter Kurumi Noa, but it may just be the light they needed to make it through the stormy night. No matter what were to come, they had no choice but to grit their teeth and hold fiercely at their position. Here, they were enveloped in a maelstrom of death.
こっち来てる。ここ。めっちゃのバルロ了解。上のバル。
ここミミちゃんの方行くかも。一人だ。ここ肉一人いる。
いやごめん。
わあごめん。ここミミちゃんの方行くかも。
一人やってる。
ここ肉一人いる。ここシャウルトでやってる。
オッケー。
ここ肉一人いる。
オッケー。こっち来てほしい。かましてほしい。できるぞこれ。
いやごめん。
やった。誰あなたたち誰あー失礼します。グレ入れる。
飛べそうだったら飛んでもいい。
バレてない。ここ入るわ。目の前のこれバレキリ取って。ここは似てるわ。こっちやばい。
頑張れ。あと7部隊ね。
こっち来てほしい。かわしてほしい。やばい。
オッケー。
これリブできるぞこれ。僕の周りおる。
一人やった。
これピン赤ピンシールでって。
今シーラない。あと一人。
起こせる。
ナイス。
大丈夫。
オッケー、
固めて固めて。どこにいるこれ、敵の位置がわからん。後ろいないよな。
ここら辺か。あ、ここ。
大丈夫大丈夫、ゆっくり。
弾がありません。
大丈夫大丈夫よ。
いくよ。左にいるから。
いける。もう一個前に欲しいかも。
これいる、回ってる。
右側が空いてる、右側が
あー、やりてえ。
これいる、回ってる。これいる、回ってる。
丸だ、あー、やりてえ、2になりてえ。
右側が空いてる。あと奥が1人ね。
1位は無理、正直これ。
どうだ、ここで。正面バンバン。やった。
ごめん、死んじゃった。ごめん、死んじゃった。
クリプトも割れてる。真ん中のここ1人。
一人ダウン。
あー、詰められる。
まだ真上飛んでる、まだ真上。あといってる。
ここ1人だよ。
Team MapleNuts Bunny Dio had emerged victorious yet again. Their strength and valor as warriors projected for all to see.
わ、キルポマックス。いいね。
I cannot stress enough, back to back with Rampart no Valk is insane. That is so hard to do in those lobbies to get to those end games without using a Valk rotation. Your micro has to be so good.
With two impressive back-to-back victories under their belts, they now had a substantial lead over the other squads. Yet still, the question remained. Would they be able to maintain their lead? After all, the final rounds were the most valuable due to them not having kill point limits. Those are where comebacks take place. Indeed, it was far too early to tell, and in this battle, the fate of the complacent could quickly turn upside down. Round 3.
GG ってない GG って白アーマーね。
回ろう。
オッケー。
後ろ注意ね。
1人に76肉入れてる。
オッケー。ここから撃たれてる私。
最悪だ、99取るべきだろ。
こっち来るかも。
下がっておいで。近い。待って、それも
割ってるめっちゃのそれ。下。
オッケー。
バンガ。
下ね。
これ詰めてこようとしてる。これとこれ。
そこ広がっといて。
こいつ割れてる。あー、それバリケード壊した。
ここ後ろ2拍よってる。
私いけるから。
ここやり合ってるよ。
後ろ注意。
After some heavy skirmishing with nearby squads, MapleNuts Bunny had come to find refuge in a buzz near the iconic tower. The ring was shrinking and the exchange of fire getting fiercer, but within the safety of the buzz, Teron's walls and Mimitia's black market feeding them resources, they could simply take it slow and relax.
すみません、お邪魔します。
The thrilling terror, Astaleda, the lone surviving member of his own squad, had sneaked his way onto the scene. There in the tight quarters inside the bus, the dastardly villain's drills were most effective. And even though he was completely exposed for all squads to see, Astaleda single-handedly continued tormenting MapleNuts Bunny Dio. This was the rotting bus drill incident.
来るよこれ。
ごめん耳たや。
おい木体ちゃった。
ごめんねほんとごめん。
Oh, he's on the roof. He's bullying the fuck out of
Yeah,
them.
they are bullying so much. Dude, QP number wiping. One team up. Oh my god.
Yeah, but the problem is now our team can't act on that because Astel's on the roof.
I know.
ちなみに全部食らってるのデロンさんなんでね。今死んだから遊べない？
The non-stop queuing. What a menace to society right now, brother.
真上潰そうこの間に。ほらもうノア先輩怒ってるよそれ。食らわないんだよねごめん本当にごめん。マジでごめんマジでごめん。真上にグレ投げるわ。オッケー。は？なんで飛ばん？僕はやめてって言ったんですけどね。
違うんだよね僕たちは悪くないんだよ本当に。
早くすらこれ。
Bro, Astel is just fucking destroying the rides right now.
後ろから出よっか。オッケー。ファイトになるかも。上取るね。いった。ごめん。頑張れ。
本当にごめん本当にごめん本当にごめん。
上割ってる。ここ振り付けよここ振り付けよ。
Eventually, the incoming fire from other squads forced Asteleda to retreat, and he would be picked off by Team Decani Q's Shinomiya Luna. As for Maple-Nuts Bunny-dayo, the closing ring 2 forced him to move. In his final ring, a 3-way battle between Maple-Nuts Bunny, Decani Q, and Datsukasu had begun.
めっちゃ目の前めっちゃ目の前。
あ、じゃあ見る見る見る。
フラトラの玉。
あ、じゃあ見る見る見る。
ブレトないね。
うわ、やば、ごめん。
ウルトない。一人割った。
うわ、やば、ごめん。3人。
前打つよ。
3人 OK。降りるわ。いや、白目。引いてもいいよ。
大丈夫。前潰そう。やばい。
ごめん。
いや、白目。引いてもいいよ。
ごめん。
潰そう。オッケーオッケー。
いや、白目。引いてもいいよ。
大丈夫。その。
こっち来てる。
マイクよ。これ投げてる。上3人いってる。ごめん、前潰してほしい。これ一瞬で起こせるかも。バンカーやってる。一瞬で起こせるかも。オッケーナイス。これでいいよ。
際立ってる。
ヘイトコントロールした方がいいかも。赤さん、戦ってるね。
際立ってる。
守る。壊れてる。
大丈夫。そう。
ごめん。取れる。頑張れ。ナイスサイ。振られてる。
俺死んだ。
ごめん、アーマータップしちゃった。
なんだろう、ここ。
下。
当てる。
うまい。派手ね。
刺さってる。
ナイス。はる。
これグレ刺さった。
いやごめん。
おしらい。
With Noah having been downed by Shinomiya Luna, Maple-Nuts Bunny was eliminated shortly after, and in the end, this round was decided with a 1v1 between Pakael and Kaminari Kyupi, in which the grand strategist Kaminari Kyupi emerged victorious. Even still, Team Maple-Nuts Bunny had achieved a solid 3rd place, which was more than enough to keep their lead for the time being. Round 4.
バカ。オッケー。助けて。
うわ、シーラング。
一人やった。
やばい。
いや、どんまい。
These two had been quite the action-packed round, with Maple-Nuts Bunny surviving all the way to the final ring, where sadly their open position was filled with caustic gas, barraged with grenade after grenade, and fired upon by multiple surrounding squads.
ここ出るよ。
固めてる。
ここ出るよ。こっちいるからね。ガスールとか
ここまで張り付けるよ。
3人入ってる。いやーごめん。
1枚だ。オッケー。1枚だ。ヘッドスリードしてる。バンガロール。
いやきついなこれ。
こっちあったかい。こっちあったかい。
カエルちゃんしゃがんでてしゃがんでて。
これまだいるわ、まだいるこれ倒したい。
いいね。
グレ入れて、ここね。グレ入れる。
グレ入れてる。後ろ向き。カエルちゃんここにいるから。
3個落としたよ。ありがとう。
こっちで。
あ、それごめん。
いやナイス。6位6キル。
やっちゃったね。
でかい。
They had held as strong as they could, but there was simply no surviving all that hell. Team Epicenter, led by the calm and calculated Kaga Sumire, would be the winner of round 4. Still, with overall good positioning and fierce fighting, MapleNuts Bunny's 6th place in this round still allowed them to enjoy a good lead over the other squads. But all of that could change in the final round. Indeed, amidst all of this, MapleNuts Bunny was aware one particular opponent very much threatened this lead. The champion of the Apex V-Cycle Season 1, the Prince of War, Pakael. Much like Noah, Pakael was easily one of the strongest participants with extensive experience. A methodical tactician and a mighty warrior who had already proved himself capable of conquering the throne of victory. That day was no different. As the Prince of War took to the field of battle, he was even the kill leader for both round 3 and round 4. And with such deadly determination, going into this final round of the tournament, he had one final opportunity to pile kill after kill and reclaim the throne for himself. Round 5.
ここ飛んだ。
だね、バス。
ここ飛んだ。
さあ。
右？
メープルナスバニだよ、ここ。ノアちゃんたちここにいるから、多分だいぶもみくちゃになるよね。
多分死ぬかも。
後ろ絶対切り。後ろ金山。
All teams converged around the outskirts of the iconic tower, navigating the treacherous battlefield in hopes of surviving for as long as they could.
まだパカエルさんたちが生きてる。どっかで。
ウルトいつでも出せるよ。
一人やった。
パカエルさんどこだこれ。どっかでやり合ってる。
出す？ウルト出すよ。
ウルト出して。
いいよ。
またグレーいっぱい投げるね。
グレめっちゃ投げて。
グレーいっぱい掘って。ノーダウンね。
グレーいっぱいの。オッケー、ノーダウン。
あ、裏来てる。
帰って。
バック。
あ、ここ。近い。流れてってる。この見るわ。グレ、ウルト投げる。右回るわ。
今見えない。
こっち回ってる。やばい、パカエルさんの位置がわからん。
そこ。
そっちから撃たれちゃうんだよね。
ここ入ってる。
降りた。
絶対当たるよこれ。キルポ取れる。
目の前。ガス。あ、来る。ガスンと来てる。一人やった。
ごめん、取れなかった。
いや、いい。
まだいる。
俺はそっち見ないから。83。
割ってる。ダウン。
行くよ。
オッケー。
カーテンギット。
俺いらないっしょ。
いや、3人で。割ってる。
ちょっと待ってくれる？
やってる。
ナイス。
別に回復するね。見てて。バル肉。
バル飛んだ。
かける。上。やった。
私こっち見てる。
オッケー。僕の目の前。ナイス。
そこローバー。
直
これ
進剤あ
耳ちゃんやね。
Even as they fought to survive, Noah kept her eyes peeled for Pakael's squad. She knew that were Team Datsukatsu to be eliminated, MapleNuts Bunny's ultimate victory would no doubt be assured. However,
見えない。
とりあえずスタイルスター、タワースター、ハイド。オッケー。待って、僕の目の前。見て。
後ろ絶対切り。バンガ。
一人めっちゃ激ロ。
いや、ごめん。パカエルさんだ。
ロに行ってる。
バンガいた。ここ。
これミミちゃん。
いや、ごめん。
やってる。もう一人やってる。
カエルちゃん右回りて。
ここ。
無理しない。バック。
無理しない。オッケー。
頑張れ。一回そこで回復して。 ごめん。
ヒップカエルさん僕だ。何キルしてんだろう。
MapleNut's bunny had been caught off guard by the very team they had been so wary of. The Prince of War advanced in his road of conquest. The storm followed.
目の前目の前の目の前のやってる。
ポタちゃんとかポタちゃんとかバーティー。
オッケーオッケー。皆さんここ。
戻る戻る戻る。一人めっちゃノック。
ライン詰めるよ。その日休めてる。一人割れてる。
バンが割ってるバンが割ってる。
オッケー。
うちも鍛えてるも鍛えてる。
オッケーオッケーオッケーオッケーオッケーオッケー。
右行くよ。右行くよ。
オッケ
なんと
ー。
戦おうかこれ。
ナイスナイスナイス。
何かあった。
まだ聞こえるからね。やっべ。
右やばい。右やばい。
取り取った。
激ロー。殺した。一人激ロー。
ごめん。
オッケー2人やってる2人やってる3人やった3人やった3人やった。
いやごめん。
The grand strategist would be next. Team Dekani Q had fallen. Pakael advanced. The storm followed. His squad mates fell one by one, and he alone carried on. Beneath the shadow of the Tower of Death, only Pakael and Virtual Gorilla remained. V-Gorilla. He too was a much decorated veteran warrior like Pakael himself. He too had survived this long after his own squad mates had fallen. Atop the tower, overseeing these two mighty forces was Team Sadame Gaming. Proud warriors with nothing left to lose, fighting for redemption. Led by Ichinose Uruha, there was a tense quiet, the calm before the storm. The ring closed, and death followed.
カエルさんのと。
マスターマスターマスターってるマスター。
出ましたね。そう。
私死ぬわ。
お、一人ダウンされてる。
マジ。
目の前目の前目の前。
目の前ごめん。
割れてる割れてる。割れてる割れてる。ナイス。
いやごめん。
よしよしよしよしよしナイスナイスナイス。
Team Sadame Gaming had barely made it out alive. Tension and uncertainty took hold of the battle-weary warriors. Just who had been victorious for the tournament as a whole?
わからん。マジでわからん。
マジで怖い。
やべえ。
よだれ出てきた。
いや僕はねもうこの V 最強で女3人で優勝するっていう取れたら絶対かっこいいやん。うわ
オッケーオッケー。とりあえずね。
ドキドキしていけた。落ち着け。大丈夫だよ。
優勝チームから。
優勝チームはい。頑張れ。
お願いお願い。
お願い頼む。
マジで。
CM 入ったって。なんだこれ。や
2ポイント差か。
勝ってたらあった。そっか。
ありがとうマジで。
ありがとう。
パソコン落ちた。
何してんの？何してんの？
今喜びすぎてバーンって立ったらパソコン蹴っ飛ばしちゃってコンセント抜けた。
やった
マジで。
MapleNut's Bunny Dio had emerged victorious above all! With only a 2 points difference from Pakael's team, Kurumi had successfully led their team to victory in a truly spectacular fashion, maintaining a supremacy as first place throughout the entire day. This had truly been a great achievement. Not only had this been the only time in history that a VSPO member had won an Apex Legends V-Psycho tournament, it was also the first time a full female team had done so as well. And to someone like Noah, who partly joined VSPO to improve the image of female competitive gamers, this was a truly poetic achievement. Additionally, on that day, among all teams that had finished first place in each round, every single round was led by a VSPO member, Round 1 and 2 were won by MapleNet's Banidayo, led by Kurumi Noah, and also including Tosaki Mimi. Round 3 was won by the Q, led by Shinomiya Runa, and also including its IGL Kaminari QP. Round 4 was won by Epicenter Michio Akero, led by Kaga Sumire. And round 5 was won by Sadame Gaming, led by Ichinose Uruha, and also including Komori Met. Each were fighting their own battles, each becoming shining moments in their individual stories. Yet together, they were all part of a bigger whole. Without any of them realizing it, the bonds of VSPO at play had brought forth the crowning of a queen. The Apex v Saikyo Season 5 was a total VSPO victory, and perhaps for this reason, you can begin to understand why some consider this the beginning of VSPO's golden age. And spearheading their finest hour was none other than Noah herself. At the time of this video's making, VSPO's most victorious member, a prime example of VSPO's gaming excellence. The embodiment of everything that VSPO stands for. Pakayao had been a truly tremendous warrior who ended up as the participant with the most kills in the tournament day. And following in second place was Kurumi Noah herself, showcasing that her individual prowess was truly among the very best that day. But of course, MapleNet's Banidayo as a whole had excelled in these chaotic battlefields, showcasing great valor under pressure, clever strategy, coordinated teamwork, and tight-knitted trust in each other. These three Shield Sisters demonstrated the qualities necessary for teams to achieve ultimate victory. This was a chapter forever to be remembered in the tale of Kurumi Noah. And while she may already be known as the Clutch Queen, it is my tradition in this channel to celebrate those whose gaming skills impress me. And I believe she is most deserving of one more epithet. Let her feats be encapsulated into legend! Behold she who heralds a most auspicious golden first light. Through trials and tribulations she endures, each scar an engraved lesson. Fret not those who in dusk wander, for daybreak rises just beyond the horizon. Fly high, daughter of Valhala, the radiant Dawnseeker, Kurumi Noah. It would be in the very next month following her great triumph in May that she achieved yet another great conquest, the prestigious rank of Apex Predator. November 19th, 2023, Noah would join the Valorant v Saikyo Act 1. She was ranked as a Tier 3 player and would be drafted by the Tier 1 player Shiranami Ramune to join Team Good Smell Squad, though in spite of their best efforts, they would place 8th. January 26th, 2024, she participated in the Kasen Tournament 9 as part of Team The Uruka, her first League of Legends tournament victory. April 29th, it was a Rage Valorant 2024, in which Noah, alongside fellow VSPO members Shiranami Ramune, Yume no Akari, Yakumo Beni, Neko Tatsuna, and Tsumugi Kokage, would compete against 3 teams, including casters, streamers, and pro players. Noah played in every match, and VSPO would succeed in beating 2 out of the 3 teams, and as such, we can consider this event to be an overall victory as well. Then on May 13th, her team would be victorious in the 4th Street Fighter 6 Crazy Raccoon Cup, and shortly after, on May 24th, her team would also be victorious in the Reject Fight Night Round 3. August 24th would bring the Apex v Saikyo Season 6, a tournament notorious for all the Apex Predators allowed to join, Noah now being one of them. Here she led Neoporte's Kohaku Teto and Nishisanji's Ragna Petite, forming Osampo Biori. This time, however, she would end up placing 12th in the end. But then, on September 23rd, together with Kohaku Teto and Haseshin, she would win the Apex Legends Yamamoto Sayaka Cup. October 18th, the Apex Legends Scar Z Cup Volume 4, also a win. Come March 22nd, 2025, it was the first VSPO showdown. Noah would be part of VSPO Street Fighter 6 team, alongside Choya Hanabi, the ridiculously powerful Amayu Moka, and led by Kisaragi Ren. There's also an interesting backstory here. You see, when it was decided that Noah was going to be part of VSPO Street Fighter 6 team, up until now, the character that she always played was Cammy. The event organizers, however, asked her if she could reach Master Rank with Mai in around a month. At first, Noah thought they were crazy. After all, even if Mai was pretty strong in the meta, she would have to reach Master Rank, which she had never reached before, and with an entire new character. Crazy, right? That's what Noah thought. But then she did just that. Master Rank with Mai in around a month. that's Kurumi Noah for you. Now, unlike the other VSPO teams, the Street Fighter team would have to face two different rival teams. The VSPO team was victorious against the first, but lost against the second. However, Kurumi Noah in particular was the only member who was able to defeat both of her opponents. Therefore, I'm counting this as one overall victory, by mixing all wins and losses from all matches with the two rival teams. And so comes the big League of Legends grind. From June 18th all the way to August 27th, Noah would participate in the League de Kassen Spirit Blossom Beyond. Noah was a top laner of Sorcery Tiara in the next division, which was for players ranking below Platinum. Alongside her were Sorcery Tiara's leader and mid laner Suzuki Noriaki, Amamiya Kokoro in the jungle, Tachibana Hinano as the ADC, and Tona Kaito as a support. Because this was a tournament spanning 3 months, Noah mainly played League of Legends during this period. And because MOBAs aren't a genre she's very familiar with, she had to deal with a fair amount of struggles during this time. But Noah is a competitive warrior at heart, and therefore she always picked herself back up, and when the playoffs finally arrived, it was Sorcery Tiara which would be victorious above all in the end. September 28th was the VSPO Custom 2025, in which all JP branch VSPO members would compete with each other in Apex Legends. However, uniquely, Noah would be paired up with just Neko Tatsuna, being the only squad without a third member, which was a huge handicap. However, you see, Noah and Tsuna are probably among the strongest Apex Legends players in VSPO as a whole. Easily top 3 if we include VSPO EN's Arya Kuroha. As such, Noah and Tsuna proceeded to absolutely kick some serious ass. Winning the VSPO Custom with just the two of them in the end. This is why Noah and Tsuna is such a hype pairing. November 9th, the Valorant VSPO Act 2. This time, she was upgraded to a Tier 2 player and would be drafted by the Tier 1 player Neko Tatsuna to join Team Ping Pong Rush. This tournament was extremely tough, however, because the other teams were also very strong themselves, and in spite having fought ferociously, Ping Pong Rush would place 5th in the end. Now, starting a bit before on September 10th, all the way to December 23rd, Noah participated in the League de Kassen Trials of Twilight. Yes, another LTK, meaning that Noah grinded League almost non-stop for 6 months in 1 year. Although keep in mind that she also participated in the previous 2 competitions I just mentioned during this time as well. Once again, she was part of Sorcerer Tiara Next as a top laner, alongside Amamiya Kokoro in the jungle, the leader Suzuki Noriaki in the mid lane, Yume no Akari as the ADC, and the famous actress Honda Tsubasa as a support. Compared to the first LTK, Noah had definitely gotten much stronger, and she was even ranking up higher than before. However, the second season of LTK proved to be much more gruesome of a challenge, and in spite of their best efforts, Sorcerer Tiara would end up placing last. Finally, March 26th of 2026. It was the second VSPO Showdown. This time, Noah would be part of the second day's VSPO's League of Legends team as its top laner. The team would be led by the jungler Sendo Yuhi, Asumi Sena was the mid laner, Tatsumaki Chise was the AD carry, and Kogara Toto was the support. This VSPO Showdown, however, would be different from the previous one, since in 2025, VSPO pretty much swept the rival teams. This time, management decided to further challenge VSPO members. And for that, all the rival teams were purposely made to be stronger than the VSPO teams, with the rivals generally being higher ranked compared to the VSPO members. Therefore, from the very beginning, the VSPO teams were made to be the underdogs of this event, to test their limits and see how far they could go. And indeed, from the scrims leading to the big day alone, this was a real struggle. Nonetheless, when the big day arrived, one could definitely see how much they had improved. Even still, coming into day 2, the atmosphere was tense. After all, the day 1 VSPO teams had all been defeated, and the day 2 League of Legends team had to face one of the arguably strongest rival teams. Indeed, already on game 1 of this best of 3, this challenge was looking quite unsurmountable, with the rival team taking a steady win. You see, the thing about true competitive warriors is that they don't back down just because the going gets tough. VSPO members are warriors, and so they would give it their all until the very end. Game 2 was extremely close, and though the rival team started winning, VSPO kept fighting as hard as they could, managing to keep up and even securing the Dragon Soul for themselves. But even with such an advantage, the rival team still remained ahead in gold. And every single small win had to be very hard fought. Let me tell you, this match was a real nail-biter. I was at the edge of my seats. But even still, the smallest mistake would immediately have the rival team having full control of the match. And in the end, the pressure was entirely shifting against the VSPO team. Until... このミッドルプッシュにまずはオーバーからソーラーフレア、そしてバックラインのゼロスに対してはテニスブレードでここまでかかったプレッシャー。怪我人のレースで寄ってかせるというふうにスネアを入れる。さあテレポートから駆けつけてライバルチームを一気に陣形整えていくが、しかしゼロダメージでゼロテマスオモが英雄降臨。さあクルミラーがバックラインを狙って公開初見、これは当てましたがしっかりこれを取っていく。フワードライバルはさすがにエースがそのブレストミクサスを破壊してゲームプレー勝利したのはブリスト
これは本当にすごいことが起きましたよ。
Against all odds, the VSPO team managed to win the extremely close Game 2. I was so hyped and proud of them when this happened, I actually started tearing up. Unfortunately, Game 3 ended up being a loss, and indeed, every single VSPO team would be defeated in this VSPO showdown. However, this Game 2 victory on Day 2 was an incredible moment where these determined underdog warriors went above and beyond, pushing themselves beyond their limits against opponents that, by design, were much stronger. Of course, all VSPO members are competitive warriors, and when they go down like warriors. But this victory was particularly special in a way that can only be achieved when the odds are stacked against you. And while VSPO Showdown 2026 resulted in a complete VSPO defeat, I believe it was an important showing of VSPO's tenacity, competitive valor, grace even in defeat, and the willingness to continue challenging themselves further and further. And for that, they have my respect. I fully support management's idea with this challenge. A true warrior shines brightest when faced with adversity. This is the glory of a samurai courageously charging to a battle they know full well they'll likely not return from, guided by nothing but a faint glimmer of hope and a warrior spirit. At least that's the way I see it. And lastly, June 26th, Noah's team would be victorious in the 6th Overwatch Crazy Raccoon Cup. This tourney wasn't in the script originally, but I should have expected that someone who wins a lot could win again at any moment. So that's another win for the pile. And there you have it, Kurumi Noah's very extensive competitive history, likely the longest of all in this VSPO Spotlight series. Since her debut all the way to this video's making, Noah has piled up a staggering 18 tournament and event wins, the biggest amount in all of VSPO. Though she has experienced many defeats, she will push through all hardships, no matter how tough. And as the most victorious member, it is easy to see why she is considered one of the agency's top gamers. Noah exudes within her one of the brightest fires of competition in the entirety of the VTuber world. She is ambitious, yet honorable, and always looking to improve her skills further and further. And for that, she has gotten the admiration of many from both her audience and fellow VSPO members alike. Hers is truly a fire that kindles the warrior spirit within others. So look to the sky and follow her lead, because when Noah takes flight, you may just witness the majesty of a radiant dawn. On the next episode, we'll observe the clever Tosaki Mimi, so be sure to sweat with a like button and subscribe for more content like this. And consider joining our Discord if you enjoy talking about VTubers. The links will be in the description below. And with that, I bid you sweet dreams.